Yep, welcome everyone. There's news and expected volatility on the chart. So we're live in the upcoming hour and let's see what we get, right? So turn off the music. There we are. 40 seconds left now. The news thing that I'm talking about is over here. You can see the time, the countdown, right? So in 30 seconds, we have this going on. I don't really know what it is. I just know it's in my list of high impact news. So in other words, volatility can be expected, which is interesting. So it's a good moment to go live. 10 seconds left. Gwillian, WJ, Young, a crypto enthusiast, Jeffrey, welcome, Mari, Oliver, Bina, Igor, James, QZ World, Terry, maybe a band-aid. What's up, man? 3, 2, 1. Okay. Well, let's see what we get. And if we get some volatility on the chart. This is the 15-minute time frame. And this is the local range. Now, locally here, the 886 at the highs has been touched twice. So from an Elliott wave probability standpoint, this range has a higher probability to be corrective. So overall, unrelated to local news price action, the probabilities would be higher to still take out these highs at some point. And yeah, let's see what the news is going to give us, right? So trade safe because of volatility, right? So what's up? What's up? It's morning here in central Midwestern USA, Nebraska. Beautiful warm winter day, 36 degrees. Welcome, James. Or not degrees, it's Fahrenheit, of course, yeah. Welcome, James. Good to have you here from the other side, across the pond. It is a less beautiful day here in France. It's cloudy today. A little bit rainy today, but it's good. It's good. It's still, temperature is still perfectly fine. It's maybe not like sunny, but it's still, I believe, 12 or 13 degrees. So perfect, you know. Good morning, Terry. 8:30 a.m. where I live. What's up? Ice Cubes lady, welcome. Dasek. Freedom units. Oh, wait. Freedom units. I have no idea. It's Fahrenheit, no? You have degrees of Fahrenheit. Yeah, 36 degrees. Is this like a joke? Like beautiful warm winter day, 36 actual degrees? Holy moly. That's a winter day. That's crazy. Your intro music is awesome, by the way. I've been wanting to tell you for some time. Thanks, Ice Cubes lady. Thank you. You should actually thank the artist, of course. Samurai is the intro song. And one second here. What's the author again? Samurai by... oh, by the way, what the plan is for the stream, of course, I'll explain in a second. Samurai is made by Jim Joseph. So Jim, J-I-M. Joseph is with the Y, right? Starts with Y and then Osef, right? Samurai by Jim Joseph. The first one I always have is Dreamer by Alan Walker. So, yeah. But, in today's live stream, it's, of course, similar to the usual news-related live streams. We observe what price is going to do first, and then we get to the analysis. Now, I have changed a few things around with regards to the morning video that I made, which I'll show you in a second. Continue to observe the chart, and then afterwards, if anything changes, then we'll do a deep dive analysis again. So, yeah, but just to explain what I changed, not really going into great detail just yet. You first of all see the levels on my chart here. This is a support resistance box. There was a weekly naked point of control here that was touched. So it's trying to flip it, of course. Value area high, 106.4K. Point of control, 107.7. Daily naked point of control, 101. Probability is higher still to take out these highs at some point that we have there due to the 886 touches. And what I have changed here is that this range is very long to be compared to this, which is what I compared it to earlier today, potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this range now as a 4 is so much longer than this being a 2 that it makes more sense that this high over here is a finished structure of something. So therefore, I move this 3 and 5 from the blue line down here, right? Then we have our 4 and 5 in a bullish scenario, right? In the multi 1-2, we would then finish a 1 here, right? It doesn't really matter, triple 1-2 or double 1-2, but you're going to finish a wave 1. And then we have in the bearish scenario, you would be looking for 4 and 5 preferably, because probability is higher to take out this high. Probability is not higher that this is an impulsive structure to the downside. Higher probabilities it is corrective. And therefore, it's more interesting to still look for price to take the high. So I'm not really a big fan of counting a finish C at that high. Would preferably for a C also still see the high taken. So yeah, that is what I changed compared to this morning. So instead of this being a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I now basically count a finished structure here at this high. But yeah, still looking for price to take out the double top preferably. On the 3-minute time frame, this range, of course, it has been going on for quite a while, but one way to count it is a potential WXY, which basically means ABC, a flat structure, then a wave X, double zigzag, and then another ABC in a wave Y. That would be a bullish scenario, of course, in this range. This is the 3-minute time frame, so take it with a grain of salt, right? 3-minute time frame is always a bit, very, very low time frame for Elliott wave counting. Things change very, very quickly. But this is just an idea that I had when I looked into the lower time frame, basically just before the live stream, and can still become a triple zigzag or what is it? You can't count this as an A. Looks very 3-wavy, but anyway, WXY. It's an option. Can be part, of course, of a bigger flat still. But trade safe with the news, right? So with regards to the news, this is what's been going on. So indeed, a little bit of increased volatility. If we want to count this, it looks at the moment very, very 3-wavy to the upside. Again, this is a 3-minute time frame. 1 minute, not much better. If we do this, we did touch the 886 here at the high. So we did touch that. We have this here. 786 retracement at the moment here. So yeah, let's see what we get. I don't really enjoy being on the very low time frames. My main time frames are 15 minutes or higher. So it's easier to observe what price does, of course, on the 15. Gives us a bit more time. Oh, Fahrenheit freedom units. Okay, well, I'll learn something. I know about Fahrenheit, but not that it was freedom units. Interesting. Kurtish, welcome. Umar, Igor, Toronto, -7. Brr, cold. 8:30, sunny, 30 degrees Celsius. It's crazy. Good evening, Von Tabada. Welcome. Bitcoin short-term bullish. The probabilities remain high to still take out the highs of this range at some point. So that is the bias, at least on the chart at the moment. It's in my party playlist. What do you say about news data? I don't know about fundamentals. I just know that volatility is expected. So you got to trade safe around this hour, but I don't know what it means from a fundamental perspective. So that's something for the people that actually know what they're looking for in the fundamental data, which is not me. I don't know. I have no idea. So GDP growth rate quarter, the fourth quarter of last year, actual, previous. I don't know what it means for the chart. I don't know if it's bullish. I don't know if it's bearish, but I only know that it can create volatility. So hence it's interesting to observe what the chart does. Cutting probably next meetings. Is Bitcoin, I just answered that question. Yeah, GTP wasn't too holding Q4. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was true. Maybe a band-aid. I'm clueless. Mark, welcome. Lucifer, what's up? Hurricane, Crypto Banter is about to start. I don't care about other channels, so you know, I have my own agenda, which starts with just observing the local price action here on the chart. No? So we just wait and see what price does. And then we get to the analysis on the chart. So the three scenarios I do keep an eye on is impulse, invalidation, 103.7. Multi 1-2, definitely not my favorite scenario. It's probably my lowest probability. Multi 1-2, it's very tricky, but it can only gain probabilities at a later stage, not yet where we are at the moment. And then we have the ABC. So, but then ABC, this one will lower in probability if price is going to touch this trend line over here. So currently that would be moving down to 104.4K. That would reduce probabilities because then you get an expanding diagonal, which is incredibly rare. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, so then you're going to be looking at a finished C, basically. There we go. What about the flat correction? On what time frame, Abdullah? On what time frame? The U.S. economy expanded and annualized 2.3% instead of 3%. You can press on the new, and we'll show you what the news means. Yeah, but I the only thing I'm interested in is if is it bullish, is it bearish? But even that, I don't really. I will observe the chart. It's the chart that matters the most to me. So for me, it's just the time. I focus on the time. That's most important to me. So yeah, let's see what we get here. Price moving down. We have a double bottom here. Definitely not a WXY now, at least not a finished WXY. This move up, of course, now very much a three-wavy structure. Actual less than forecast is good for crypto. Okay. On the 15-minute time frame, a flat correction is a possibility. Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, in that case, though, you would still need to take out the highs, then get your wave C, and then continue up. And that is something that, of course, can work if you look for a wave 4. Right? What you do, of course, have to move up, not down. So price just took out the low here. Or at least this low. Yeah, difficult to count this move as an impulse. It looks very three-wave-ish, of course, but we also touched an 886 at the high, so wait and see. Can count it as a triangle posted in a gold. A triangle. A, B, C, D, and then this would be your E. So you don't want to see the low taken in that case. Yeah, definitely an option. Especially now that this move up is very much a three-wave structure. So, I mean, in that case, you then have A, B, C, D, E, right? Invalidation is taking out this low. You can't really have a WXY now because of this 3-wave move. So yeah, that would be your triangle. No? In a sideways WXY, wave X being a triangle itself is incredibly rare. So preferably you just look for a triangle as it is, ABC, right? Another ABC, ABC, ABC. Triangles, of course, tricky structures, not as obvious. They often take a while to form as well. Let me check Discord. So, check the message from Tim. Yeah, it's the same triangle that I just highlighted, yeah. A, B, C, D, and then you want to have E here. Yeah. You do want to take the high, of course, right, in that case. So we definitely have 2 886 touches. It's basically a triple top by now. What about a flat? Yeah, so we can answer that. Hi, Kun. What's up, Obil? I'm not sure I understood yesterday the impact on probabilities if we hit 104.6. Oh, that was this morning. If you hit 104.6, then you invalidate a wave 4, but it's irrelevant now due to the size of this range. But basically, this morning, that was, if you take a 618 Fibonacci from this low to the high and toggle on the 618, it would invalidate a wave 4 that is counted as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? It's not allowed to go that deep. However, because price extended so long in time now, right? We went sideways for a very long period of time, much longer than this wave 2 now. It doesn't really make too much sense to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the moment in sync with this being your 2, because 4 is so long. So you can take a fib time from the start to the end of your 2 to the start of your 4, and just look at the size, right? It's incredibly long. So, yeah. That is not really too relevant at level anymore. I already moved my level, like my numbers and stuff on this high now. The one talk about yesterday. Oh, flat. Oh, you mean the daily flat? Yeah, that hasn't changed, right? The daily probabilities, they haven't changed. It's on the higher time frame. Right, on the higher time frame here, daily, right? You have your finished 4 or unfinished 4. Probabilities would suggest unfinished 4 because a WXY double zigzag is very rare as to finish a wave 4 as a WXY double zigzag, that is. Right? So it's more common to have a bigger corrective structure, either WXY or a flat ABC. So that still stands. That still stands. Nothing changed there. Oh. And then on the 4 hour, let's see, expand. This is your regular flat, no? And then you move down in 3, so you take the lows again. In that case, you do actually want to have A, B, C, right? Ideally. And the expanded flat, you would need more upside. But then this needs to be a 5-wave structure. And at the moment, it's of course tricky. This looks very much a 3, not yet a 5. And A needs to be a 5. So you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correction, continuation. If you don't get a 4 and a 5, then this scenario goes in the bin. Regular flat, that's the one taking over. Yep. And then your bullish scenario alternative is 1, 2, 3, which would mean this is your low after a WXY double zigzag. It's just lower probabilities though. And in the end, it's all probabilities. So that regular flat definitely looks interesting, right? With a diagonal in C though. Good morning, Roman. You seem to lack the same energy. Are you feeling well? I'm feeling very well. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for asking, Bina. No. It's another day, another live stream. I don't know. Maybe some days I'm much higher energy than others. But now we just observe the chart, answering questions, chatting Q&A. Maybe it's the microphone as well, bit of a deeper sound, not as high pitched. Who knows? Who knows? Heiko, you probably hear about the company MicroStrategy, who has been extremely bullish on Bitcoin, owning a lot of Bitcoin. The chart of MSTR is highly correlated with Bitcoin. Do you think it would be a good? And then something has to probably be written behind here. Let me know what comes after. But yeah, I don't know. Like there might indeed be correlation, right? MSTR with Bitcoin. But sometimes I get a question: can you count another chart to get extra confidence with Bitcoin? And the answer is yes, right? So if you have a correlated chart, you count the other chart, and you see like, oh, we're ending an impulse here, or might be ending a correction. Then yes, absolutely, it can very much help with your counting on Bitcoin, if that would be the question over here. Zad, welcome. Thanks, Bina. Cheers, man. Oconte Studio, very organized, love it. Thanks, man. Yeah, I do like an organized object tree. It's important to me, having an organized working environment. I don't like a messy chart. So, like charts where there's basically 5 scenarios on the same chart. Like basically what I sometimes see, like the moment I see this on someone's chart, I'm like, oh, you must be new. Like there's no way, if you are a professional Elliott wave trader, you're going to be doing this with your chart, right? Or am I mistaken here? I mean, I can't imagine. So sometimes I can see charts online, also content creators that have this going on, and I'm like, what the fuck am I even looking at, right? It's it's too confusing. Don't know what's going on. So I have my folders. Everything is separated. Everything is organized, and generally my chart is incredibly clean. So I share my chart. Right, sharing is most of the time it's on. You can find the link in the description. Click on the Linktree, and then you'll find it. So yeah, it's pretty much always on. And whenever I'm changing scenarios or I'm analyzing the chart, people can see what I do. But you'll also see that I always I analyze scenario per scenario, and I don't have multiple scenarios on my chart. So I know what I'm looking for, of course, and I explain it in the content. But yeah. So what's happening here, though? What is happening here? Very, very close to taking out the low. Yeah, it's not a very clear range, this one, right? Not a very clear range. The new microphone sounds amazing, much better. What's up, Daywalt? Yo, how you doing, man? Daywalt himself is here. Look at him go. Just need background to improve. That door. Yeah, I know. I'm so... I actually bought a closet. But I still have to build the closet. And I got lights for the closet. And yeah, I can then buy like small little things to put on the closet. But I actually, or like, is it a closet or just like something against the wall? Yeah, I have to build it. So you're correct. For the ones that don't know Daywalt, he's also an Elliott Wave analyst himself. Make sure to check him out. I can show. Wait, let me do this and then do that and then go to. He's almost at 5K. So 4.9K subscribers. We don't know if he needs 1 more or 10 more, but he's very, very close to the 5K. Right? So yeah, check him out. Daywalt, also, again, Elliott Wave analyst, mostly doing live streams, though. Not really too active with the videos, right? Last one 4 weeks ago. I was popping into a live yesterday when I had some time as well. And here, as you can see. But yeah, great analyst himself. And also analyzes crypto charts, more than one, not always only Bitcoin. But yeah, have a look, you know. Here for your suggestion, Francesco. Yeah, there's actually a few comments that I received, like, I'm here from Andy, Bitcoin Census, or from Daywalt. Andy popping in. I think Andy yesterday, he wrote me a message that he gave a shout out. What a guy. I enjoyed watching his stream. Christian, welcome. Francesco, welcome. Caleb, by the way. Caleb is like my neighbor here in France. He lives very, very close to where I live. What's up, Caleb? How you doing, man? So Caleb is a trader himself. Very, very unique way of analyzing the chart. He's not a YouTuber, but just a trader. Also works in real estate. And we regularly do things together. So, you know, maybe in my Instagram stories, you may have seen Caleb sometimes. So, what's up, Michelle? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Daywall's friends are my friends. Thanks, man. What's up, what's up? Vioscape, Daywall, Andy, and Coins Kid Crew, the Golden Team. Well, I'm not yet familiar with Coins Kid Crew, so that would be a channel that I need to figure out. It would be one to watch. So I guess like we of course covered some scenarios already, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, while we observe what price does. But I guess more in an organized manner. I suppose I can just go through the scenarios per time frame, and then we get to chat in Q&A. So I can actually write in chat as well when the analysis started. So on the daily time frame, right? By all means, the bias remains bullish, still looking for all-time highs and waiting for a 5 to start, really, because the question is your wave 4 finished at this low? Yes or no? Now, if you finish a wave 4 here, it's on top of the 382 taken from this low, by the way. I moved things around in the previous live stream. But in that case, you would count 1 here. This would be 2. 382 is a common target for a wave 4. Now, inside 4 here, you would then count WXY double zigzag, but from a probability standpoint, a WXY is not the highest probability scenario for a wave 4. It appears in 4% of the 4, so it's actually quite rare. Now, of course, it happens, and then you would need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish a 5. However, arguably, your probabilities are higher. Your 4 is not yet finished, and you look for a WXY or an ABC, right? So basically, you have a bigger corrective structure. Now that means that your 4 is of course quite big in time compared to this 2. So what you can then consider is moving your 1 and 2 to the left, and that is why the 1 and 2 were positioned to the left, and then now time-wise your 2 and your 4 actually match. So, and then after you move into your 5. Now an unfinished wave 4 can be an expanded flat. Now an expanded flat is the most common flat structure, but it's a bit too early. Let me actually start with the regular. Because from a probability standpoint, at the moment, a regular flat would be better. So you then have A, B, and then a wave is C, ending diagonal. So you still need a 3, 4, 5 in that case. Finish C, then you move up. Invalidation very clear, right? Your wave B is very short in this scenario. Wave Bs are most commonly zigzag family structures, which then is definitely the case. So they can be very short. Preferably, it would have been nice if B ends after the 0.382 fib time, which it didn't. But it's not, time is not an invalidation. It's structure that is most important. Now for this scenario, this is an expanded flat ABC. You would need price to actually create a 5-wave structure, which it hasn't so far. So currently it's a 3, not a 5. Now this has to be an ABC for Y. You're not allowed to have a WXY inside Y. So you need a 5, a 3, a 5. At the moment, this is a 3, not a 5. So you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 wave B, then move up in C. Common target area 112.9 to 115.8K. And then your most bullish scenario would mean where wave 4 is finished here. And this is 1, 2, and you look for another impulse up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correction, continuation. But this is, at the moment, not the greatest probability. So keeping an eye on the flats at the moment and an unfinished wave 4, basically, on the daily time frame. So from a probabilities perspective, I suppose, on the daily, probabilities are highest. We're still looking for a wave 5, but an unfinished 4 looks best. And then on the 4-hour time frame, a flat has a higher probability than impulsive continuation, with the alternative, by the way, being a WXY, being WX and then a wave Y and then continue after. And then you can have a triangle A, B, C, D, E in Y and then move up, or a flat in Y and then move up. a bit early for a WXY, but that's your alternative scenario, basically. So that is what's going on. So, yeah. Voila. I actually don't know when I started that bit of analysis, but probably like Elliott wave and that Elliott wave analysis at, I don't know, like 28 min or something. Probably something like that. Let me pin this comment here, pin the message. There we go. Okay, so we took the lows. We took the lows, we took the lows. Difficult to count this range now. It can't be a triangle. Triangle, oops, also invalidated. A, B. Yeah, the only thing I can think of now is counting this as a wave A, being a diagonal, then have a B, and then count a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a wave C. Take out the low, and then reverse it back to the upside to take out the high. So basically A, B, C, and then go back. That is basically the bullish scenario on the chart. Bearish would be 1, 2, 1, 2, and then of course down. But you touch the 886 here, and the 886 generally gives a higher probability to price still taking out those highs. So yeah, that is what the probabilities tell us. What is your setup to take a trade? I have many setups because I have different tools that I use. Elliott waves, CVD, horizontals, and I use everything together. So whenever there's a good setup, I'll make sure to take the trade. But I'm not a signals channel. So I have my plan, I have my strategy, I have my trades, I have my wins, I have my losses, I have my break-evens. The question is, what is your setup? And that is something you have to discover yourself. You need to develop your own plan. What's up, Legendario? And just because I get this question a lot, I actually made a video here in the educational content playlist on my YouTube channel. And then it's this one here. Arguably the most important video on my channel. So make sure to check it out. It basically explains what steps you need to take in order to develop your own trading plan. The way someone else trades is actually irrelevant to your own trading. You might be able to take like a thing or two, but the question is, does it fit for you, right? Maybe you are more of a simple trader. Elliott waves might be too tricky. You're more into trend lines, or you're more into patterns, or maybe instead of Elliott waves, you're an order flow trader, right? You can be incredibly profitable. So you first need to figure out what tools you like and then develop a system around those tools. So, the way someone else trades, there's 100,000 different ways to trade and be profitable. Right? It's different for everyone. So my way of trading is likely very different compared to most of the people here in chat. What's up, Hasta la vista, Barbie? How are you doing? The low hasn't been taken yet on Binance. Okay. Might be interesting to also take the low then there, right? Make sure that the different charts align. I do have different charts here though. So let's see. If we go to index, we actually did not take it very close, but we didn't. We didn't take the low on index as well. Bitstamp, we actually did. What's this? Bybit, we didn't. Yeah, actually on most charts we didn't. We did on Coinbase, but not on the others. Close though. See what we get. What's up, Milos from Serbia? Welcome. Eric Dorion La Flamme. How you doing, man? I love Elliott waves, but I'm not at your level of expertise. Is there a way to study books or practice so I can analyze a chart and instantly recognize Elliott wave patterns like you do? Is there a way to study books or practice? It's repetition, huh? it's constant repetition. So what would I recommend if I would start over? Well, in the Linktree, link is in the description. You can go to Elliott Wave Education and then check out the website here first. I'm not affiliated. This is just a great source. So this is a website full with Elliott Wave information. Pretty much 90% of what you read here is correct. So it has photos as well, lots of theory. It's quite simple. It's just like studying at school. Get a pen, get a notebook. Don't make notes on a computer screen. Don't be the guy that copies Control-C and Control-V in a Word document and then think you get it, right? Get a pen, get a notebook, write it down, draw the different scenarios in the notebook as well, right? And then write the rules, write the guidelines, write the targets. Just write everything down. Then after you've done that, go to the Elliott Wave Guide Beginners playlist, this one here, because you'll find even more information here compared to the website, including stuff that is regarding volume and time as well. So then you go through this, right? And then again, with the notebook, right? And the pen. And that is, of course, just purely theory. And then execution, with regards to execution, what I would do is try to stick around on a 4-hour time frame. I think that's generally a really good time frame, and just go through a lot of different charts. Not only Bitcoin, go to many alts as well, and just try counting, right? And try to identify, okay, I've just studied an impulse. Can I identify an impulse, right? Put the targets on the chart, measurements, the extension levels, etc., right? Just put it all out there and see if it indeed is an impulse, or are there things that make it not an impulse? You know what I mean? So start there, and then of course you have the zigzags and do WXYs, do those last. I recommend. But also a thing that really helps is to put the targets of the different waves here in the save them as a template, right? So you don't have to remember all the targets, and it saves brain power to actually analyze the chart instead of remembering all of the extension as well as all of the Fibonacci targets, right? So that's something that I would recommend very much so. Like I did that last, unfortunately. I only thought about this at the end, and by that time I already knew the targets. But I if I would start again, I would probably just go through that website here, go through the website. First thing, maybe even reading, I would just open all of the photos, right? And then I just put all the targets in. So, and then at least that's done. Yeah. And then continue reading, see if you've done it correct. Or just while you're reading, you start with an impulse, read the impulse, put the targets in, put the fibs in, and then you eventually get to implementation. So, yeah. So price moved down here, and let me check. So we are, I think, quite close to invalidating an unfinished ABC. So let's see. Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting very close. If you hit the lower trend line here, then we cannot count this as a contracting diagonal, potentially for C. Not the highest probabilities, as A already looks contracting anyway. But still, it's good to track. So the moment you hit the lower trend line here, then this C goes here. And then you would count a finished wave C as your bearish scenario. So let's just put the channel on the chart. And then your remaining bullish scenario, actually, we have two bullish scenarios. But I don't know. I don't like the multi 1-2. I don't know. Not a big fan of counting many 1-2s here. Also, this range now is becoming bigger in size than this one. So 1, 2, 1, and another 2. So I would then favor this. So we'll just keep an eye. Could we have a potential 1-2-1-2 and the bottom is in? Yes. not too big of a fan yet. Like that's what I said. Like also in the morning update, there's basically 2 versions here. So you can have 1, a 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, look for bigger, 2, continuation, or 1. Well, let's make it a double, triple. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I prefer a double over a triple in that case, but it's not. This scenario only gets higher probabilities if more information comes in. It's difficult to give this highest probabilities. Basically, what you would need to see is price, of course, to continue up, and every range should be corrective, right? And then you're going to take it range by range. So, oh, we get a corrective range. Cool. I'm looking for price to move up again. Oh, corrective range. Okay, upside. Corrective range, upside. And then eventually you get your wave 3. But it's difficult to give such a scenario the highest probabilities. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. May have a finished A, B, C possibly here. A, B, C. Took the low. But this is 3-minute stuff. Tricky. Mostly sticking to Bitcoin. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't really yet gotten into... recently I got a question on making alt videos instead of alts during live streams, which I do sometimes. Making like altcoin videos. Now the channel is very much focused on Bitcoin, and every video, of course, takes time to make. So the more videos I make, the less time I can spend answering comments, being part of the community, trading myself by all means, but also doing stuff in the background. So we're creating an Elliott Wave compendium. Website is being built. There's another thing. There's many ideas. So the more content, the less other stuff. And in my case, I'm a Bitcoin trader. I'm not an altcoin trader. I very much trade Bitcoin only. And even though with regards to the channel, I can imagine if you do alts, your channel may grow quicker, right? Because other people that only focus on XRP or whatever, they're going to find your channel. But I'm not sure if that's a direction at the moment that I would like to go. Because of time, quite simply. Unless I make less Bitcoin videos, then I can change a Bitcoin update for an altcoin update of some sort. But that means less Bitcoin. There's a plus and a minus for every choice, basically. Can you make an extended video for the multi-1-2, and how does it differ from diagonals? Well, let me just do it here. Diagonal, multi-1-2. A diagonal, right, can either be impulse 5, 3, 5, impulse 3, 5, correction, continuation. A 5, 3, 5, 3, 5 diagonal can only be a wave 1. Meaning it's a leading diagonal. Alternatively, a leading diagonal, right, wave A or wave 1, can also be a 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, correction, continuation. So in both cases, a diagonal does this, comes back down, and continues up if it's a leading diagonal. So it starts a move. An ending diagonal, wave 5, wave C, always is a diagonal where all of the waves are 3-wave structures, and then you would expect a deeper retracement because it's an ending structure, right? Okay. Now with a multi-1-2, you always need an impulsive move up, corrective move down, impulse up, corrective down, impulse up, corrective down, and then you go. You are not changing market structure. Remember the leading diagonal, right? Because basically you compare a multi-1-2 always with a leading diagonal, not an ending diagonal, because you're starting a new structure. This is eventually a wave 3, right? So you have a 1, 2, smaller 1, smaller 2, smallest 1, smallest 2 in Elliott wave degrees. Then you get your 3 and then 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, because every 1, 2 has also a 4, 5. In a leading diagonal, you have also 5 waves, but you expect a bigger corrective structure, typically quite deep after a diagonal, and then continuation. Also, here, you tend to see CVDs building as prices moving up, which is quite nice. So that is your difference between a diagonal and a multi-1-2. And if you want an example of a multi-1-2, I gotta go to very low time frames, actually. Not sure if so this is very, very low time frame, but anyway, I identified it on this low time frame. So after the low that we made at 89, we moved up, started this range. And then as the range was forming, I only joined here somewhere, like quite late. But that's because that's when I identified what's actually happening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3-wave correction. Impulsive move up, 3-wave correction, right? Impulsive move up, 3-wave correction. So basically what I was seeing here is I saw fast moves up, but 3 waves down, right? Yes, wait. So fast impulsive move up. Did we take the low here? Yeah. Okay, so 3-wave move down, right? Fast move up, and then you get all of this mess, right? But by all means, we didn't take out this low. I mean, arguably you can count this as a whole correction. But then you get another move up that is sharp, and you get a clear 3-wave structure down. And that's the moment where I'm like, okay, now it becomes interesting to look. That's a multi-1, and we had bullish CVDs building. Another example is actually the all-time high, where there were very big bearish CVDs here, and I didn't trust continuation, partly because of the bearish CVDs. But here you can clearly see 3-wave structure up, sharp move down, 3-wave structure up, a bit of a 3-wavy move down, okay, acceptable. But then also here, once again, a 3-wave structure up. Like the moment you see, you don't even have to count the impulses, but every time you get a 3-wave structure to the upside, which is bearish, right? Because if you're bullish, you need an impulse to the upside and then correction continuation. But they're 3-wave structures. This is quite clearly an impulsive move to the downside, followed by a 3-wave corrective structure. It's not very bullish. And then we had bearish CVDs, bearish CVDs, bearish CVDs. So a lot of absorption, which eventually led to price falling down, right? So yeah, definitely there also potential of a multi 1-2, right? So yeah, diagonals are not even actually that common. They're not like common structures. The higher time frame you go, the less common they become. So yeah. Is there a way to maybe use AI like DeepSeek to build an Elliott wave indicator? Is there a good Elliott wave on the Tradingview? There's no good Elliott wave indicator on Tradingview from my experience. Pretty much, if you would study Elliott waves for 1 week, you're going to outperform any indicator on Tradingview. They are that bad. The only potential indicator out there is actually not like it is an AI, but I do not have experience with this, and that would be Elliott Wave International's E-Wave thing. Now, I am not affiliated, by the way. Like there's no affiliate link. I don't have anything. I just know it exists. I'm not using this. I don't know what, like all that stuff, right? I just know it is there. But is it better? I don't know. I've never used it. I would need to test it and then check if this even works, yes or no. But I also think like even when you use something like this, you still want to know rules, guidelines yourself as well, right? Like there is not really a very quick way to success with Elliott waves. Even if you do use an AI, it still requires you to know rules and guidelines of all the different structures because you're going to be trading it, right? So yeah, I trust myself more at the moment than AI, but hopefully one day, or maybe one day, there's gonna be something where I can say like, yeah, this is actually good. Could actually be fun to consider making one myself. I don't have any knowledge of AI, so I would need support on that front. But yeah, then at least I know it will work, because I will not put it out there if it's not according to my own standards, and my standards are incredibly high. So yeah, I don't have experience with any AI or TradingView indicator, or well, I have experience with TradingView indicators. I've just never used them because they're really bad. Legendario, thanks for the gift, man. Appreciate it, sir. How are you doing, man? Legendario has been here for a very long time. Thanks, Jeroen. Welcome, Jeroen, as well. Massey33, welcome. You have been gifted by kind sir Legendario. So make sure to fill in the form. And oh, maybe a Band-Aid here shared it as well. Put in gifted bronze and we'll get you sorted, bump you up to silver. Cheers, Barbie. When you use CVD, do you rather follow the blue line because it's for all exchange, or Barbie line? In my opinion, blue line is more relevant because of multiple exchanges. Both are as important to me. That's also why I turned the labels off. They are both as important in my trading. Now, of course, everyone's trading is different, so you can use different CVD lines, but I use both, and they have the same value to me. Yeah. And you also see, if you would track data on both of them, you will see that yellow and blue, they're very, very similar in their performance. But I do not favor one over the other. I use them together. MT, by the way, welcome. New subscriber here upon Andy's advice. Watched him for quite some time. Much love from Florida, USA. Thank you for what you're doing. I'm impressed. Thank you for being here. Welcome from Florida, USA. It's nice. You know, when I go live, of course, US wakes up pretty much. And there's quite some people from the US coming in. 12% of the total amount of viewers is viewers from the US, actually. So welcome, MT. And thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Welcome to the channel as well. Thanks to Andy and Daywald with the legend community. Thanks, guys. Divine Hood, good morning. Welcome. You're getting a lot of love lately from other pro traders, and I think you deserve it all. Such amazing analysis from you always. Cheers, Divine Hood. Yeah, I mean, I know Daywald, I know Andy, not in person. Unfortunately, we've never had the opportunity to meet. Hopefully one day we will. But I got in touch with Andy first because of Mark. Mark is one of the mods on my channel, and he pretty much knows everyone in the space in crypto YouTube. So we got in touch, and then I got in touch with Daywald. Actually, interesting. Daywald first joined as a member, as a gold member on the channel, studying Elliott waves. So that's where I know Daywald from. And then eventually Daywald studied Elliott waves and got good skills, left the membership, of course, because it's there to study, and then eventually people move on and hopefully they use it in their trading. And he does, because he eventually started the YouTube channel as well, or maybe he had it a year ago. So I think probably the starting of the channel was quite in sync with the leaving the membership, which is exactly what we like to see, is you get everything you want, you've studied, you're going to use it. And he's now almost at 5K subs. Maybe he already reached 5K, by the way, because he was at, I gave him a little shout out just now. Let me check here. Did he reach 5K now? Oh, wait. Lol, it's 4.9. So it's still 100. For a second, I thought he needed 10. Yeah. I mean, at least there's a few more, right? But he still needs 90 or 80 subs. So, we don't know if it's 85 or 90, but he's getting there. I'm not that big yet that 100 people just go, whoosh. But he's a great guy, great analyst, and you can check him out. Go down. What is your percentage for 170? Oh, that's too that's too hypothetical, I suppose. 179K top for Bitcoin. Before we jump to such conclusions, I would need a lot more information. It's much better to take it step by step instead of going too far, like having scenarios that are, too far in, how can I say this, like too high time frame. So I do have high time frame scenarios, but 179K top, that's a very precise number on a very high time frame scale. So yeah, I don't have any percentage related to that. On the weekly, we're still looking for higher. On the daily, we're still looking for higher. And then step by step, range by range, we might eventually end up at 179, yeah. Adam, what's up? Now show us which one you prefer to put an Elliott wave channel on. Oh, wait, yeah, that depends on what impulse you're tracking, right? So if you have a wave 1 impulse, 3 wave 2, another wave 1, 3 wave 2, and then another wave 1, 3 wave 2, then you get your wave 3 of 3 of 3, right? And then eventually you get your wave 4 and 5 for, actually wave 4s tend to be deeper. Anyway, wait. Pop, pop, up, 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 3, 4, a bit longer, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. And then if this is your 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, then your first 4, 5 here. So this is 3, and then you have 4, and this is 5. Maybe, wait, let me use actual colors here. So this is your lowest degree impulse. This is a higher degree impulse. And this is your highest degree impulse. And then with regards to channeling, it depends on what impulse you're tracking, right? So if you track the highest degree impulse, then you take a base channel. Before I start talking about channels, not that one. Educational content. Please check out this video, the best ways to use channels. It's related to impulses, right? So I'm going to use information from that now. So a base channel from the start to the end of 2 to the end of 1, right? And then eventually after 3, you want 4 to move towards that base channel. It doesn't need to hit it, but move towards it, and then you get 5. So this is your biggest base channel, right? If you track the green count, and if you want to use a channel for blue, well, you do the exact same, right? You do the exact same for blue, but then start at blue 1 to end of blue 2 to end of blue 1, and then same for the white count. So that is, it just depends on what impulse do you want to track, basically. Welcome, Bitcoin boss. How you doing, man? Welcome. Using AI without knowing what you do is like using a top range camera without knowing anything about photography. Yeah, that's a nice comparison, I suppose. Yeah. You still gotta know the basics. Tarun, welcome, by the way. Junior, welcome. Ruben, pleasure. Spend your time wisely on Bitcoin. Absolutely. Yeah. Don't overtrade. Mark Z, what's up? Stick to your plan as well. Can be of course a big struggle at times. Even I struggle with it. Right? Like I make a clear plan, and then sometimes I do stuff out of my plan and I lose 1%. And mind you, my 1% is quite big. So then you're like, of course, in the end, it's still you're still profitable. But everyone makes mistakes, and so do I. And if there's one thing that if there's one mistake, I have to pick one, then it's quite likely just not. I make a plan, and then I do something that's not written down in my morning plan. Like I put a lot of time in making the plan in the morning, and then something happens on the chart, and I'm like, and then I do something more impulsively. I think that's the biggest weakness that I have. Does the AGGR template you use for CVD take into account if the open interest is increasing or not? CVD, cumulative volume delta, just tracks market orders. It's not related to open interest. You need an additional tool for that. And he's also fun to watch. Yeah, he's a great guy. Moved to Dubai, of course, last year as well. Pleasure, Saad Hasiba. Chris, welcome. Does the short-term change now that the low has been taken out, or just the structure of the corrective move? Just the structure. you then look for an ABC. A diagonal and AFB, and this has to be a C for the bulls. The bears, of course, means 1, 2, 1, 2, and you go down. So that is the difference between the two, basically. Yeah. Not really, of course, too big of a fan of 3-minute counting, but let's see, this is the 1 minute even. Yeah, it's a mix. There's it, it's not much going on. This is the 1 minute time frame, by the way. So, but here we still have bullish CVDs in the uptrend, but local CVDs, what you like to see is bullish market structure with bullish CVDs very, very locally, right? Because, yeah, you can have a bigger bullish CVD, but, this one already played out, right? So let me show you. As price moved up, right, we already had bullish CVDs here. So this low already had bullish CVDs that already played out. So this is like a second CVD. It lowers in probabilities. So it's still relevant because you're in an uptrend. So bullish CVDs are interesting. And we touched the 886 still here at the high as well. But locally, if you would create lower lows and lower highs and you create bearish CVDs on the 3 minute, for example, those have priority over the bigger one because the local price action always gets priority with CVD. So for the bulls, what you would like to see is basically change market structure and then have bullish CVDs building as price moves up. That would be best locally. That would be nicest, so to say. Cheers, Junior, and give him my greetings. Give him my greetings. Nice one, MT. Niels, welcome. He will reach 5K soon, I'm sure. Bitcoin balls. Sorry to ask, when is your update getting out of the testing phase and how to get it then? So yeah, it's in the testing phase. We're checking things. Of course, in Diamond, the previous CVD is shared, and also the CVD is public, of course, for people that do become an affiliate and support the channel. If not affiliate, then it's $60. So that is the most recent public CVD. And this one, yeah, we're still testing, and then we'll see what we do with it as well. But at the moment, it's still in the testing phase because there's a lot of little things. Recently, we had a bug still. So what I can do, I think, is I can draw and then it slowly disappears, right? So I can highlight things on the chart as well. So this bug has been fixed because now it actually disappears. And I think with shift, if I do this, oh no, wait, not that. What was it? From here to here, it gives an 886, but it's not yet. It's not yet awesome. I mean, I don't know if Mr. Friends is watching, but it would be great if we do pull a fib of some sort. I don't know if we can link it to highs and lows, else you got to be very precise. It would be great if we have a magnet. But then the 886, it would also be nice if the 886 would actually cover maybe the whole chart, just fully sideways. So, yeah. But yeah, we are still very much working on the CVD indicator. We're not yet finished. He's not an Elliott wave analyst, but he analyzes Bitcoin using other... Yeah, he does sometimes show a bit of Elliott wave analysis, but generally uses other tools and the Bitcoin sensors. Chuck Wagen, do you take into consideration high/low volume when analyzing wave and determine? Yes, I do. Volume is very important. So yes, absolutely. This is my first live stream. Great educational content. Thank you. Cheers, Kevin, and welcome to the channel. Thanks for being here, and also thanks for writing a comment while you're here. Did we fall below the weekly naked point of control? Shortly. Now we're moving, of course, back above it. Let me remove the channel here. So the weekly, it's of course over here, that weekly naked point of control. Now, if price can hit this 886 here, then the probabilities are higher for price to move up. I made, oh wait, good luck everyone, happy counting. What's up, GTP Sleeper, welcome. Fiona, Adam. It's a scary side. I made heavy mistake, made trading 1700, thought I could get more and traded it to almost zero. Yeah. You know, like you can earn money quickly and you can lose money very quickly. It's also, you got to turn off the emotion you have with money. I guess, you know, they always say trade with money that you can lose, which helps with the emotional aspect. But, you know, like if you have a decent portfolio size, you're going to be playing thousands per trade. You're going to earn thousands per trade. You're going to lose thousands per trade. Like I mentioned earlier, if I make a mistake, it's an easy 4-digit mistake, if not more, but easy 4-digit at least, and that happens. So it's I don't feel it anymore, like the number, right? If I make profit, right, it's also 4-5 digits. So but yeah, mistakes can be very costly. And if you would calculate that into what I can do with that money, right? If you would say like, you lost $100 maybe in your case or whoever's case, and then you're like, oh shit, you know, I could have gone and got myself a nice dinner somewhere. But it's not the way that you really should think about trading money, because even if your account goes to zero, you know, like first of all, it's never nice, right? You know, it just shows trading management or trading psychology wasn't on point. But it should always be money one can lose. And it avoids that feeling of, oh shit, I just lost $1,000. You know, I could have had whatever you can buy for $1,000, you know. But yeah, name of the game, no? Name of the game. So it's just stuff that happens on the chart. And yeah, you got to be able to pay the price in order to be a long-term profitable trader. So yeah, if it was easy, yeah, that's what they always say. If it was easy, everyone would do it, no? No. The reason I ask, because for a better signal on bullish CVD absorption, we like to see open interest increasing. Tell us new position opening, but getting absorbed. That's why I like CoinLice. Yeah, you can also, of course, use ATAS or EXO charts. But yeah, I always use CVD. Like with Elliott waves in combination with CVD, I get a good indication of when it is leading and when it is actually true absorption. So I suppose in a way I have trained myself to recognize it in the CVD chart. So, and I have my method for, you know, entering, exiting. Yeah, so experience counts, and especially with CVD, experience counts. So I am able to recognize true bullish CVDs or leading CVDs. And I do think market structure helps a lot. So of course, if you are in a bullish trend and market structure is bullish as well, or that's what I'm saying, if you're in a bullish trend, bullish market structure, and you have bullish CVDs, as price is moving up, I mean, the probabilities are much higher you're having an absorption CVD, like actual absorption, not leading, right? But if that CVD then plays out, you want to see a new CVD with a new pivot, right? So let me explain here. So if you have a high, a low, higher low, higher high, higher low, etc., right? Like, imagine you get a bullish CVD here. You get a bullish CVD, plays out because price takes out the high, so the CVD has played out, right? You took out the high. And now price comes back down, right? And if you then have a CVD divergence with this low and this one, but not with this one, right? I don't like this, right? What I would like to see is then have a new bullish CVD between these two, right? have it play out. And then a new bullish CVD between these two, right? So every time you have a new pivot that starts the CVD. This is the first, that's the second, that's the third, etc. I don't like a CVD divergence with the same pivot. It's just probabilities. And I tracked a lot of data back in the day on CVD. And one of the things that I recognized in that data as well is the more often you have a CVD divergence with the same pivot, the lower the probabilities of it playing out. And it very much tanks after two. So the first one is the best. The second one is, it's there, but it lowers in probabilities. It's not bad, but it's significantly lower. And then the third one, fourth one, that's where that's not what you want to see. Those are the not interesting CVD divergences. One doubt is there a day when we have a clear only one probability to take a decision. I mean, in the end, you have to do your own analysis. So of course, Elliott wave analysis, you should always have a bullish and bearish scenario and play probabilities. And the highest probability scenario is the tradable scenario from an Elliott wave point of view, right? Until proven otherwise and invalidated, and then it changes. But by all means, my content is no financial advice. It shouldn't be traded except by me. But I have my plan outside of Elliott waves and in relation with Elliott waves. I have tools and strategies I use with and without. So yeah, I know what I look for. I know what I trade. So it might be tough to make decisions, but by all means, you shouldn't make decisions based on my content anyway. You should make it based on your own strategy, of course, which, again, was it this playlist? Yeah, check out this video here. All right, this one. So this one here. Important. Trading Light. Yeah, Trading Light. There's more like those type of websites. Yeah. On many time frames, correct. All the time frames. But generally, stay above 15. 15 and higher generally is a great idea. How do you focus on which probability to focus? Can you explain with an example? How do you focus on which probability to focus? I guess this question is more about how do you kind of know what scenario has the highest probability? But that comes first with knowing the exact rules and guidelines of every scenario. And then you play them against one another. So when you analyze the chart, you have a bullish and you have a bearish scenario. And then you check, okay, the bullish scenario, is the volume respected? Do we like to see the volume the way it is? What are the retracement targets? What are the extension targets, right? What's time showing us? And you put all of this together and you're like, okay, this bullish scenario, yeah, this looks really good, right? Because it respects the volume that we like to see. It's good in time, clear impulsive moves up and whatnot. Like, okay, looks good. And then you have the bearish scenario. And maybe that bearish scenario is like more tricky, right? It doesn't really respect the extension very nice. Volume might be off. But at least okay, the bullish scenario is invalidated if this happens. And that is when the bearish scenario takes over. That's why you have two. And then you always trade the bullish scenario because that's the higher probability scenario. And then the bearish scenario is an alternative scenario, right? And then once the bullish one is invalidated, right, maybe that happens, then the bearish scenario takes over and that becomes the new primary. And then you need a new bullish alternative. So that is, yeah. So this is very much a question like, how do you, the how is years of studying. And then you will only be able to really estimate probabilities once you know the theory by heart, and then of course get to the implementation part. So only knowing the theory will not give you probabilities, because of course the chart is never perfect, right? The chart will not show you the like every impulse is a perfect impulse and every WXY is a perfect WXY. So you have to be able to recognize the patterns in the noise, of course. And not every wave 3 will have the highest volume. Sometimes it's a wave 1 or a wave 5 or so yeah, but that is where then experience, implementation, and everything becomes important. So the how is a question that is related to experience. Yeah. It takes time, but that's Elliott waves. It takes a long time to know Elliott waves. And I think Elliott waves is one of the best tools ever. Like, it makes you read the chart like a book. So it doesn't feel random anymore, because you're able to categorize and label the waves on the chart, which is incredibly helpful. And it makes you get a good feeling of the directional bias, right? What are we looking for on Bitcoin? What direction has a higher probability? And then one can trade in that direction. And potentially you then use other tools to trade in that direction. Like, okay, direction might be XYZ. And then if I see CVDs in that direction, or volume comes in and we move in that direction, I'll be part of the trade. Or we hit resistance or support, and I'll trade that resistance or support. So, yeah. Experience counts, especially in Elliott waves. Yeah. So that would be the answer. What's up, Wojo? Welcome. Good to have you here. No choke. In your scenario, wave 4 is very short. Doesn't that lower the probabilities? In your scenario, the wave 4 is very short. Depends a little bit, I guess, on which wave 4 you mean. Mister, welcome, by the way. Stipe, welcome. We're almost hitting the 886. Now, the only reason I have the 886 here on my chart is because the 886 lowers the probabilities for a multi 1-2 to the downside. In other words, gives some probabilities to the bulls instead of the bears, right? So 105 to 80 is the level of the 886. But no choke. What time frame are you talking about? Is it 15-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour time frame? Mister, by the way, good afternoon. Do you have other CFD templates for different altcoins? I only have Sol and ETH in Discord, as you've seen. In Diamond, there's many others, but I don't have any other because I don't trade them. So I don't use CFD on other charts. No. So the 1 hour chart. Well, in this case, we had, I mean, on the 1 hour chart here, this would be a 4. You hit the 0.146. The 146 is a target for a 4. It's actually a rare target, though. So you can see it's nicely respected. But yeah, it's a very rare target. So your most common target is the 0.236 and the 382 and the 05, which arguably are lower. But in this case, your invalidation for wave 1 is or the invalidation for 4 is the low of 1 or the high of 1. Holy moly, what am I even drinking? I swear this is water. So yeah. I don't know it exactly. So the wide count. Oh yeah, but wave 4, there's time is not a invalidation nor a confirmation. It's a probabilities. So your wave 2 here is longer than your wave 4. It happens, but that would be the way I count this. Else I can't count this nicely. Else you would need to go into 1 2 1 2 1 2 again. You know what I mean? And that is what this basically shows, right? Your multi 1 2, where you either have 1 2 finishes here and then 1 2 1 2, or 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 1 2. You know what I mean? So yeah. So time is never a invalidation nor confirmation, but it helps with the probabilities. Commonly, wave 4 is longer than 2. It's not a must. It's just what's most common. I don't know it exactly. So how do we get your CVD template with the lines on AGGR? It's explained in Discord. So it's all explained in Discord in the good to know channel. Hashtag good to know. It should be at the top of the channel list. And the Discord link is in the description. So the first Discord logo in the description will get you to a CVD message in the hashtag good to know channel. So that's where it's explained. So that is where you'll find the information you are looking for. Value area high, point of control. Those are some of the resistances I like to keep an eye on. I don't know. Do we not take the high? Oh, not yet. No. Oh, now we did. Okay, there we go. Now that we took this high, though, I do have to manage accordingly, of course. Trader first, content creator second. So, 3-minute time frame, price moving up, volume moving up as well. Now what you can see here in this case would then, look, this is your latest wave 2, right? It's not really you can't count a diagonal here because you have 1, 2, 1, 2, or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correction continuation. Well, we don't have a correction continuation. So for an impulse, if we aim bullish, right, then this here becomes 1, 2, possibly another 1, 2 here, but so 1, 2, 1, 2, right? That's safer. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you look for a wave 3, and then eventually 4, 5, 4, 5, right? Now for the bears, they would be looking for a flat structure, which means a wave A. You look for B and you look for C. All right, so that is your bullish and bearish scenario. And the moment price touches the 1.618 is the moment that the probabilities decrease for a flat structure, right? So 106.2K. In other words, if price would now do this, we would be counting this as a higher probability flat ABC and then go back up to then take out this high. If price continues, moves to 106.2, that is when the probabilities are in favor for the bulls. We then probably count at least a double 1, 2 here, potentially a triple, but just to be safe, would be a double. 1, 2, 1, 2, then you get your 3. You're still looking for 4, 5, 4, 5 later, and then this would be an area to, no financial advice, but to sell again, depending on how you're trading all of this. But so, yeah. Now the 886, of course, probability here played out. So got touched, lowers the probabilities. This is another 1, 2 for a 1, 2, 1, 2 impulse down. We can remove this now from the chart and just observe local price action. Highest volume currently in the high. So of course, preferably, if impulsive, we look for a wave 3 and 4, 5, 4, 5s later. Most important is you don't want to change the structure. You also preferably don't come all the way back down. Right, so we take the 618 here. Oops. I also have to go, by the way. I just want to do this because I have to go. We have my wife and I have an appointment. But you can take the 618 from the recent low here to wherever the high is. And then once you form your first wave 4, you don't want to see it hit the 618. If you do, it invalidates a wave 4. And then arguably your better 618 would be taken from the low here, right, to wherever then the high is going to be. I think we just touched the 1.618, so there you go. Did we? Yeah, we did. Okay, so the 1.618 is touched, increasing probabilities. We're looking at an impulse, not a flat structure. So with that in mind, we preferably would then like to see still 4 5s. Now, wave 4s are commonly longer in time than a wave 2, right? So with that in mind, you can see a 1 red candle here, at least 2 red candles here. So you want to see at least a range that creates a couple of red candles, and then you move up again, couple of red candles, and then you move up again, right? So to create at least a double 4-5 where the ranges are at least solid ranges. Now, currently, the highest amount of volume is in the latest candle towards the upside. The 1.618, by the way, doesn't invalidate a flat. It just significantly lowers probabilities. It's quite a rare target for a wave B in a flat structure. So that's why it gives probabilities to an impulse and not a flat. Yeah, this is, of course, again, it's 3-minute countering, right? So always good to take it with a grain of salt. But this is, so I guess in a way, this is what I then look for myself as well, right? So very low time frame, but it's a good example. So you take out the high, cool. We take out the high, flat versus impulse, right? Flat 1.618, preferably not touched. If you touch the 1.618, reduces probabilities for a flat, increases probabilities for an impulse because it's a rare target for a wave B of a flat. What I'm talking about is A, B, C, by the way, right? Now, that then means that the probabilities are higher, that the move to the upside is an impulse, which therefore means probabilities are higher. I'm still looking for 4, 5, 4, 5 after a double 1, 2, potential triple 1, 2, but I like to be safe, better safe than sorry. So I would count a double here, 1, 2, 1, 2, still look for 4, 5, 4, 5 in that case. And that would then be an area of interest to sell. And then depending on where we are at that moment in time, hopefully we're at some resistance. Hopefully we're at a certain place on the chart where I can, where I have a level. Yeah, value area high, point of control would be nice. So, yeah, there you go. Okay, I do have to start moving though. So I got to get out with the Wi-Fi and follow the instruction. I got it, but it didn't have the confirmation line like yours. Check in that same message, Fiona, check the upper message because it's a bold written message that says the newest template can be found here. And then it is a like Koen's updates channel. So you got to go to the Koen's updates channel, but it's written in Discord. 1 second here. Pop. Then go down. Where is it? Oh, here you go. So there you go. And then just click there. It's a different message. Okay. Very nice. Very, very nice. So yeah, we basically covered the range and how probabilities would have changed if we touched the 886 as per the, well, a couple of minutes ago, because this is a 3-minute time frame. Took out the high, explain probabilities changing with the 1.618 touched, explain what I'm looking for, 2 levels up, value area high, point of control, of course, areas of interest. Yeah, I would still look for preferably at least a double 4, 5. So a couple of red candles, continuation, couple of red candles, continuation. And the invalidation for wave 4s would be the 0.618. If it wants to appear on my chart, please. There you go. So, yeah. And the target area, by the way, for wave 4, we covered that as well, is the 0.236 to the 0.5. Preferably a wave 4 is a bit longer in time than a wave 2. So preferably the ranges you are yet to form then. If impulse are a bit longer in time than the short wave 2s we have here. Right. So, and it's interesting because a typical impulsive structure, right? So if you get a 1, 2 and a 1, 2, then you get your 3 and then 4, 5, 4, 5, right? You start with a bit of a grind, you get a quick move up and you end with a bit of a grind, right? And what's very nice is if you do end this grind close to a bit of resistance, then of course it's interesting to look for potential positions the opposite direction, as you would look for at least a retracement, if not a complete move the other direction. So, yeah. That is a trade that I took. It was the other way. It was a bullish trade. But that's what I did here. So here I went long after we grind, quick move down, grind, touch support, point of control of this range was touched over here. That was literally the only reason for me to take that long. It's literally the structure of an impulse. Volume declining, right? Highest amount of volume, grinding down, volume moving down, looking, approaching support. I mean, that's the reason why I took that one back then. Could it dump from here? There's always a could, right? But at the moment, your probabilities are higher. You're looking for an impulse, and then you just have to wait for that to finish. So probabilities are higher because we touched the 1.618, which is a rare target for a wave B and a flat A, B, C. For an impulse, you still need 4s and 5s though, and you don't want to change structure. That's most important. So, yeah. So yeah, very, very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. That being said, everyone, thanks for hanging out. Trade safe, right? Bit of volatility on the chart. Of course, we had the news earlier as well. And yeah, let's see where price is heading by the end of the day. Tomorrow morning will be a new video, and tomorrow afternoon will be, of course, another live stream on Friday. So yeah, good time. Make sure you trade safe. And then I will see you again tomorrow, right? So thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.